So, what are you most excited to get out of the garden this year?
Tomatoes.
Why?
But because it's my favorite treat, it is a potted meat and tomato sandwich with mustard.
And this year you'll get it on homemade bread.
That's right.
This year, so it'll be a special treat.
I'll probably want it more often. Let's figure out how to make potted meat.
I don't know if it's that easy. Are you gonna ask me
Oh, I didn't know. So what's your favorite thing?
what I'm ready for? I'm ready for fresh vegetables. I'm ready for zucchini
Yeah.
and squash fried the way I fry it real good, and potatoes, new potatoes, cooked the way I cook them.
Yeah. It'd be
I'm
nice
ready.
to have some new potatoes right now.
It would, in butter and seasoned, just cooked, just drop. So, if you're new to our channel, we're the Canny Couple, Julia,
I'm Aaron.
and we're a small homestead family in rural Southwest Virginia that work every single day to merge homesteading and frugality. And we are debt free. And today we want to talk about what our favorite seed varieties are.
Yeah, and these are like our tried and true ones that work for us all the time or our favorite eating wise.
Absolutely. Before we get started, we would really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. So, the very first thing that we love to plant, and we plant this consistently, the 8-ball.
8-ball zucchini. So, and a lot of it does with just how quick these are to produce.
They're around a 35-day mark.
Yeah, and that's quick.
That's fast.
So what it is, it's a zucchini that's shaped like a ball. So they're black to the color almost.
And they're
really
prolific. They're prolific. If you get them out early enough, they will produce. You get quite a few.
You don't want to let them get actually bigger than an eight ball.
They're about this size, like really that softball size, would I say?
No, like an 8-ball off of billiards. You don't want
Well,
them
right.
any
You
bigger
can get
than
them a
that.
little bigger. We've got them bigger
Well.
than that. They get like all zucchini. They don't get to where you can't use them and you have to use zucchini bread.
Yeah.
They get more of like this line in the middle of them, so they're not pretty, but they're wonderful. They're a fast grower. First ones you get off the bush, amazing to eat. The Heinz tomato.
It's just such an easy, tried and true one for us here on the homestead. It's what you think when you hear it. This is the
It's a processing tomato.
Right.
That's what it's used for. You could eat it fresh, but it is made for processing. And all of these varieties that we're giving you, these are things that we have planted for at least 2 seasons.
yeah, and some of these is
It's
longer
been
than
much
that.
longer. So most of these 2 seasons, Heinz has been 2 years for us, and it's worked every time.
It's a really good processor, and they're all same
About the same
size,
size.
same shape. You
It's
know,
very consistent. It's a very consistent plant. The pick and pick yellow squash.
we've grown this for
Ever.
for a long
Now,
time.
yellow squash for us. 1 year you can have no yellow squash, 1 year you can.
Yeah.
But when the yellow squash comes in, the pick and pick is always my favorite. We've tried several other varieties. I'm going to tell you, I'm not fond of a lemon squash. I'm not fond of
No.
that tree squash. They had more of a tendency to get bad on us. But the pick and pick,
Yeah.
never.
That's like one of the best eaten ones too.
And when we say squash, we do not let ours get bigger than like this.
Yeah, we're not getting those, like those things you see in like memes, that's
Nope.
that big.
Nope, it doesn't get that really big bumpy feeling. And I'd say that's why a lot of people don't like squash,
It probably is.
because they're not picking it early enough. You could eat it, you can eat the blossoms. The blossoms are edible.
Yep.
So
We've never tried it because we want the squash.
we would squash. I don't really want to mess with my blossoms. Tatsoi, this is Aaron's.
So tatsoi, it's a green leaf. You can think of it like a
Really
lettuce.
dark green leaf.
Really dark green leaf, yeah. So it is great to grow at hot times, cold times. Like we've had this stuff growing in December still before.
Yeah, it popped up volunteer plant,
Yeah.
and it was those really, really cold days that actually killed it. And it looked beautiful up
Yeah.
until it froze.
Yeah, and it's always a great one to eat. And Usually it's one that
I don't feel like it bolts as fast.
it doesn't bolt as fast, and bugs don't get to them as bad.
No, no, they don't. It's more like would you say it's the velvety?
Not really.
This one's not velvety?
This one's not velvety. No, the velvety ones I don't
He's not
really
very fond
tend
of.
to like.
But this is as close to a spinach that we have found that Aaron can grow. It's meatier than a spinach. It's not as light and crisp as spinach is.
But
It's a little thicker, but it's as close as we've been able to consistently produce.
But you can't.
You can't cook it
You
either.
can't cook it like a spinach. We tried.
We threw that out.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Trumpetino. Now, it's not our favorite winter squash. It's really good in recipes. It's really
Yeah.
good for baking, but it is so prolific once it gets
Right.
going.
I mean, just from the amount of
And the
food
storage.
production and storage, yeah, we had to put that one on the list.
We had to. Potatoes.
Hey, I mean, you know, from
Well, but we've grown lots of different variety of potatoes.
we have, but we
But there's
always come
two.
back to two, and that's the white Kennebec and the red Pontiac.
These grow really well for us.
Yeah.
We never have any trouble with these. We've tried the fancy smanchy potatoes. This year we decided, nope, they don't do anything for us. They're not worth the money we're spending on them.
Right. These here, are easier to find, like your seed potato stores, anything like that. And the red Pontiac is probably,
It's our favorite.
it's our favorite, but it's not as good as store.
It's not. It does not store well.
So you got to get through them quicker. So that's why we have a mixture, so that we have time to process the white Kennebecs.
Absolutely. Golden delight zucchini. So this is a golden zucchini, and this is Haas mostly.
Haas is about the only place I think I've seen this one. So think of your regular zucchini, how it looks, except this one is golden colored.
Yes. I
And-
mean,
yeah.
bright gold.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's a mix between a yellow squash and a zucchini, but it's actually, a zucchini.
It's a zucchini, and it's wonderful. It's got a very nice taste to it. I mean, it tastes like a zucchini, but a little bit different, just a touch different. It's got like a little bit of a lighter, and the color is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's very beautiful. So if you don't get and it's always came up for us, even when years where we don't have a lot of zucchini.
Yep. Those there always work.
And then our last one is
Ford Hook zucchini, As you saw, there's a lot of zucchini and squash on our list.
absolutely.
But the Ford Hook one is, just your bright green one that is always very prolific. But, for us, for food production, zucchini and squash is a great way to get fresh vegetables on the table fast and to produce a lot of food that's easy to store.
I mean, last year, everybody else was having a lot of trouble with their zucchini and squash. We were.
No.
We were not. We actually had a really good zucchini and squash crop last
Yeah.
year. Probably
Probably of our best.
it was our best.
Yeah.
Hands down, like I can't even begin to describe how much we processed last year. We still have some in the freezer to process through the freeze dryer. That's how much we had, which is wonderful. We're going to keep doing that, but it's one that grows so well for us, and we like it. Out of all the crops we grow, like it's one we both like.
Yeah.
Aaron likes lettuce. That's a very fast grower. It's a very easy grower. You put it in the ground, you let it go, you watch for it to pop up. Zucchini's the same way, and it's very forgiving. I like plants that are forgiving.
Yes. I mean, and that, can handle a little bit of heat, a little bit of wet,
Yeah, they don't handle the cold. We learned
No.
that from experience.
Yeah, yeah. And that, like, for example, that 8-ball, for example, we've tried to plant it in September, October before trying to get a late bunch in,
And we were close.
Yeah, and, we might try it again. It's one of those times, if your frost doesn't happen, you can have some late zucchini.
Yep. Oh, this last year we didn't do it because we had so much we had processed throughout the year.
Yeah.
But
If
for
we
us,
have a bad year or something, we'll probably try it.
We'll probably try because I always have an extra pack of seeds or two just for that reason. So these are 8 of our top favorites. We go back to these every single time, and you're going to notice they're very basic, very, very simple. because that's what we are. We're basic and simple. And we've tried a lot of different varieties, and we've really learned that we just need to stick to some that work every time.
Yeah, and these are ones, is always going to be in our garden.
And this also leads back to our garden frugality. When we would buy all these different varieties, we were spending a lot more money.
Yep.
And then we kind of learned, over the past few years that this wasn't really a good for our budget, and it wasn't really good for our gardening because we couldn't get them to grow. So we decided to stick to a few varieties, make those work for us, and it has ended up saving us money at the grocery store and whenever we go to buy seeds.
Yep, totally agree.
Any closing thoughts?
You're always looking for those seed varieties that you want to try, but you need to make sure that you always have your tried and true ones on your list every year, so you have that production, especially in bad times when your budget's tight, when food budget is tight. You have Heinz tomatoes coming up, 8-ball zucchini that you can go out and have every day. Stuff like that is stuff that you need to focus on.
Absolutely. And right now, I would say that focus needs to be more because we are hearing. I mean, you see it every day on the news, articles. People's budgets are hurting. I mean, it's the economy we live in right now.
So if you've got any questions, comments, anything.
Do you have any tried and true? Leave those in the comments below.
For something that you think we should be growing, put that down below in the comments so everybody else can see as well. But, any comments, questions, send those over to thecannycouple@yahoo.com and go over and check out our link tree with all of our other content.
And as always, thank you for joining us on the Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.